Hey everyone, it's tutorial time. And yes, it's me, Dana, with Creatively Created Crochet, and I'm bringing you another tutorial. And today we're working with C2C again, and we're going to be showing you how to maintain rows. If you're following a pattern, it may tell you to maintain a certain amount of blocks or stitches for a certain amount of rows. Usually you'll read that after you've reached your desired width. This could be the size of a blanket or a pillow or anything that you're making. Usually when you're maintaining rows, you're going to be creating a rectangle. So in my previous videos, we worked on how to create a square. We got to our desired width and then we began to decrease. This is where we're going to be working on a rectangle, and then you'll follow the same decrease rows that we did previously. But in order to create the rectangle form and to keep the same amount of stitches without doing any decreasing or any increasing, this is what you're going to do. Let's go ahead and count our stitches or our blocks now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now with this method, we should be able to keep our same 5 blocks. We should not be increasing, adding any more, or we should not be taking any away. So let's go ahead and begin. What we're going to do is take your work just like so, and you're going to chain 1. Now we're going to begin this just like a regular decrease. So turn your work and slip stitch right across. We're just slip stitching right across our work like we've been doing across those 3 stitches. Now we're going to slip stitch right into that chain 2 space. Alrighty, so keep doing just like that. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to get a little bit more light. Okay, so now we're just going to chain our 2 just like we would do, and we're going to do 3 double crochets in that same space. Alrighty, just like a regular stitch, just like we would normally do. Alrighty, and then we're going to slip stitch across, slip stitch in that next chain 2, sorry about that, and then we're going to chain 2. We're going to continue working our regular stitch pattern just like we've been doing, which is slip stitching in our chain 2 and doing 3 doubles in that same space. We're doing the same exact thing we've been doing, but I want to share with you what we're going to be doing. And if you remember what we did, we just decreased in that first stitch. So keep that in mind, what we did in that beginning of the row. Now we're going to continue with our same stitch pattern. Okay, I want to share with you what we're going to be doing. Okay, so now we're doing the same exact thing. And you're just going to continue on, just like so. Okay, so now we have reached our last block. And now if we're doing a normal decrease, what we're going to do is just slip stitch only, and we're going to turn our work and begin another row. But since we're just doing maintain rows and we're not doing decrease rows, we're going to slip stitch and we're going to work our regular stitch pattern, which is a chain 2, and we're going to do 3 double crochets in that same spot. Alrighty. Now let's count our blocks. Let's see what we have here. We should still have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We did it, guys. Now I'm going to continue with you guys just so you can know exactly what we're doing. And I wanted to tell you what we're doing. In these rows, guys, I wanted to share with you, we are going to be decreasing on this side only. So if you're doing a pattern, you'll know, they'll tell you exactly where you're going to be starting your maintain rows, and you'll know exactly which end you're going to be working on. You'll only be decreasing on one side, and you'll be increasing or creating the same stitch pattern on the other side. So you don't want to start slip stitching on this end. You only want to keep that same slip stitch formation on this end, and you'll be always coming back to this end and working that same formation. So let me continue so you can see exactly what I mean. So let's go ahead and chain our 5 like always, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty, so we're going to chain our 5, and then we're going to do our double crochet in that third chain from hook. Okay, and our 4th chain from hook, and our 5th chain from hook. Now we're going to turn our work, and then we're going to just slip stitch, and we're going to work that same exact pattern. Okay, our same pattern we've been working, we're going to work that. All right, just like so. And now we have 2 blocks. All right, we're working on block number 3, and we know that we should only have 5 blocks when we're done with this. We know we're just trying to maintain 5 blocks or whatever it may be. If you're working with if you continued on and you're working with something and you're ready to start a blanket or a baby blanket, whatever blocks you have, you know exactly where you want to be. You don't want any more. You don't want to increase anymore. You just want to keep it at whatever amount of blocks that you have. So just continue on. And now we're working on block 3. This is 2, chaining 2. And now I'm going in here, doing 3 double crochets. I'm sorry, I'm moving a little fast, guys. Okay, and now we're going to slip stitch right here. And let's count what we have. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, guys, so we know this is our last one. We're just going to chain, okay? We're going to chain, and we're going to do our 3 double crochets in this same spot, okay? And now we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, guys, so now that we know that we have 5, we should know that we are done with this row. So all we're going to do is we're just going to slip stitch. And we're always going to be slip stitching, finishing up our row here. And we're always going to be turning our work and slip stitching across here. Because if we notice, we are creating our rectangle here. And we are still adding our length here. So you would continue on until this is the length of your bedspread. And you're going to continue on, and then you begin to decrease. So this is going to have to be the width of your bedspread. If you've done enough of your work, this will be the width of your bedspread or the width of your pillow or whatever rectangle shape you're working on. And this is have to be the width or the length of your bed or whatever you're covering. So you want this to be across the foot or the head, and you want to see how wide that goes. And then you want this to go from the bottom to the top of your bed, or however far you want it to go. If you want it to be a throw across your lap, it's really up to you. So let's continue on so that way we don't get confused in what we're doing. We know we're working the top part of this, which is going to be decreasing only, and this is going to be just our increase, our regular stitching. So you'll see exactly what I'm talking about because this is a straighter edge. Okay, so what we're going to do is just chain our 1, and then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch across. Okay, so just slip stitch right across your stitches, which is 1 and 2. And now we have our third one we just slip stitched across. And now we're going to slip stitch in our space. And we're going to begin our work, which is a chain of 2. And then 3 double crochets. I'm hoping you guys can see me pretty well here. We're just working 3 double crochets in that space. Alrighty, and now we're going to do our slip stitch in that chain 2 space, and we're going to chain our own 2, and then we're going to do another 3 double crochets. Just like so. Alrighty, now let's chain 2. And we're just going to continue on with our same pattern. Alrighty, with our same pattern, and we should end up with a total of, well, if you're working with me, you'll be having a total of 5 stitches or 5 blocks still on your row. You're slip stitching your chain 2, you'll chain 2, and now you'll begin to do your 3 double crochets. Right there, guys. This stitch works up fast, and it's super fun. You can make anything you want with it. Now we're going to go on our last one. And we're going to do that same exact thing, guys. Chaining 2 and 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. So we finished that. Let's give it a count just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, guys, so we have our 5. And now we're going to look at our other end, which we're creating a straight edge. We're creating this straight edge because we're trying to get a rectangle. We want to see how wide this is going to be. So right now, we had to measure out basically where we want this to be. And if we're satisfied with this length, we'll just go back to the regular decrease tutorial and begin our regular decrease. That's what we would do, which is going to be just decreasing in each side and breaking it down. But if you're maintaining your rows, you're just going to do a decrease on this one end, and you're going to continue your regular formation on this end. So let's do another row. And now we know on this row, we ended on just a regular increase row or regular formation row. So what we're just going to do is chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we're just going to double crochet and that third chain from the hook. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to flip our work, and we're going to slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do our regular formation, which is 3 double crochets right here. Oopsie, I'm losing my stuff, guys. Okay, 3 double crochets right in this same spot, and continue that all the way down, slip stitching in your chain 2, and then you're going to do your 3 double crochets in your same space. And I'm thinking about either grabbing some scrap yarn or some yarn that I haven't worked with in a while and creating maybe a throw. I get chilly. I don't know if you guys get chilly, but I think a throw would be great just to put on my lap when I'm sitting there working and just using some scrap yarn. I don't care if it's variegated, whatever it may be. I'm thinking about just having some fun. But I'm definitely wanting to do a pattern. I know a lot of you want me to cover a pattern next, and that will be next. I'm going to do a simpler pattern, a free pattern. Everyone can have access to it, and we'll just go from there and have some fun with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and chain 2. And if you ever get lost, guys, remember you can count your blocks. If you ever get kind of like wondering, okay, I'm maintaining these rows. I know I should have 20 blocks. Let me count these blocks before you begin to slip stitch, or if you kind of feel a little kind of worried and you're trying to make sure you don't, start to increase accidentally, just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we know we're done now. I know I shouldn't be doing any stitching here. All I have to do is slip stitch and I'm done. So that's what you have to do. Just count your rows until you kind of get it all the way down packed. And then once you do get it down packed, like I said before, you're going to go and follow my regular tutorial on how to decrease. Now, once you do that, you're going to be decreasing on both sides. And then you'll be able to create your pattern and you'll be able to finish on up. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I definitely enjoyed filming it for you guys. I hope you understood it well. And if you didn't, please give me comments. Let me know what I can do to do better. And until next time, I appreciate you for watching. Thank you and love you.